See, most of us, we have stories that we've come up with in our head that we are constantly telling ourselves daily. So, if you haven't been paying attention to that chattering voice in your head, you're going to want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. So, for example, let's just say you see a really, really beautiful girl, she's stunning. You might immediately jump to different conclusions saying, hey, like she's way out of my league. Oh, I don't have a haircut, or, I'm not wearing the right clothes. Hello world, Prince here, and welcome to my channel, Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating, style, personal development, and so much more. All right, so if you're new to the channel, definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing. As you know, it helps with the algorithm, it helps the channel to grow. It really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. So, for today's topic, let's just go ahead and hop right in. We're gonna be going over how to get a girlfriend if you're antisocial, maybe you're a little shy, maybe you feel like you're ugly. We'll go over these different things and share my tips, and I'll go over each individual one in detail, so you're definitely going to want to make sure that you stay tuned until the end. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. All right, so how to get a girlfriend if you're antisocial. Maybe you're a little shy. Maybe you feel like you're ugly. Well, one of the first things that you're going to need to focus on is you. And more specifically, you're going to need to go inside yourself. What I mean by that is you need to focus on your inner game. See, let me explain a bit. Most guys are really struggling here. And, for the guys that think, I have this down pat, I already have my inner game in check, a lot of these guys are struggling as well. See, most of us, we have stories that we've come up with in our head that we are constantly telling ourselves daily. So, if you haven't been paying attention to that chattering voice in your head, you're going to want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. So for example, let's just say you see a really, really beautiful girl, she's stunning. You might immediately jump to different conclusions saying, hey, like she's way out of my league. Oh, I don't have a haircut, or, I'm not wearing the right clothes. And see, the thing is, most of the time, this is a fallacy of the mind. It is simply not true. But what is likely true is that you lack confidence in yourself. And every little thing that you do or say, it is demonstrating this, i.e. your posture and the overall way that you carry yourself, the things you say when you talk. To give an example, I was talking to this girl at Starbucks recently, and this particular girl's in grad school. But it was interesting. She was just saying different things during the course of the conversation that subtly revealed the way that she actually thought about herself. And I couldn't help but get more and more turned off as the conversation went along. She would say things like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the work done, or, I hate my job, or, just different small things. But over time, once you hear it enough, it's like, okay, this person clearly lacks confidence in themselves, and it really did bleed over into other areas, like the way that she carried herself, the things that she said, and she was totally oblivious to this. You're also going to want to make sure that you pay attention to your style of dress. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be Brad Pitt, of course, or even me for that matter, but you should at the very least have a decent routine and keep yourself looking neat and tidy. People that never look put together, it becomes very obvious very quickly that they have totally checked out. It's like they have just given up and aren't willing to do the work to watch a video like this all the way through to even begin to solve the problem. And yeah, let's be honest, it is true that women are, attracted to guys that are at least in decent shape. But I mean, decent shape is really not that hard to maintain. If you have a slight gut, I mean, it's really not the end of the world, trust me. But if you have one of those stomachs that are sort of hanging over, then yeah, you might find it difficult to date a certain demographic of women. So the second thing that you guys are really going to want to focus on if you feel that you're antisocial, maybe a little shy or ugly, which is a fallacy of the mind. None of you are ugly, but you're definitely going to want to make sure that you are focused on your purpose and you always have this top of mind. You should make sure that you have something compelling that you're working towards, something that is really driving you to get up, get focused, and go hard every day. This can be a side hustle, but ideally, this is going to be the thing that eventually becomes your full-time work. Just getting serious about this right here will cause a lot of problems with, women and inner game to totally disappear. You should totally lose yourself in trying to achieve your purpose. And everything you do should be positioning your life in a way that pushes you towards achieving this goal. And believe me, this will be advantageous in the long run, because just off of doing this one thing, you will get confidence, you'll get certainty, and just have an overall happy and peaceful demeanor, because you're just doing what you love. But hey, really quick before I go any further, if you made it this far, congratulations. You're on your way to becoming a premier gentleman and scholar. So definitely consider taking a look around, liking and subscribing. As you know, it helps that algorithm, it helps the channel to grow. It really does work to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. But then last but not least, you guys are going to want to get out there and start taking action. I know a lot of you guys will not be able to do what I do, at least in the beginning, and that is going right up to a woman and saying, hey, you look stunning. I wanted to come and meet you. What's your name? To me, this is the best way to handle women, because, it immediately sets you apart from the rest of your competition, because most guys just aren't willing to do something like that. But I know this video is about, people that are shy, maybe a little antisocial. So if you're in this position, what I would like you to do is start visiting, local coffee shops and getting work done there. Number one, if you experience general anxiety, it's probably because you spend a ton of time alone and you don't spend enough time getting out. So this will definitely help with that. And then additionally, this puts you in a place to meet beautiful women. This is a great way to meet really high quality women that have jobs, that are on their purpose, etc. And this is really what I did when I started out. I'd go there, I'd get some reading or work done every so often, but I'll let you in on a little secret that I really haven't told many people. So let's say that you visit a coffee shop, but you spot one girl, maybe sitting down at one of the tables, and you think, man, this girl is really cute. What I would do is I would go sit down at the table right next to her, and then maybe say something like, hey, I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. You seem trustworthy. Can you watch my things for me? For disclaimer, obviously, if you're in a rough area or she seems really shady, then obviously don't do this. But for me, honestly, this is what I used to do. And when I returned from the restroom, I would just say something like, hey, thank you for watching my stuff. What are you working on? Are you in school? And what I found was, just by mentioning that restroom thing in the beginning, this sort of created a rapport between us, and it made it really easy to connect with her when I got back. And then let's say, I wrap up working, or, maybe she gets up to leave, I might say, hey, it was really nice meeting you. We should keep in touch. What's your number? And then boom, you've got a number. Then in a couple days, I'd text, or if you really have balls, I'd call and then immediately go to set the date. And when I say immediately, like in the first 3 texts, I'd be asking her out on a date. And then congratulations, you now have a date. Now, all you have to do is focus on the courtship, which is a loaded subject, but really the idea here is to take things slowly. Really, the girl should be doing the most reaching out. After the date, if you don't hear from her for a week or so, then I'd send a text to set the next date. But I'll go ahead and drop some great books regarding the courtship below. So definitely make sure you take a look at those. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout. Definitely subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That is extremely important. It helps the channel to grow, it helps that algorithm, and definitely works to facilitate that strong, tight-knit community. But definitely let me know if you feel that this information has been valuable. Do you feel that you experience shyness? Do you feel antisocial? Do you think that these tips will be advantageous for you? Definitely let me know down below. Until next time, gentlemen and scholars.